Hello everyone, and welcome back, finally, to the Jannu tribe. And yes, we are finally back, and I know it has been a little while. If you guys are wondering where have the niche episodes been, please be sure to check out the very important update video I put out a few days ago. There was a lot of chaotic stuff going on in my real life, and I'm really sorry I was gone for so long. I just was not able to make enough niche to cover the time I needed to be out of town for a funeral and in the hospital with my mom. So now that that's over though, I am able to come home and sit here very excited and somewhat confused, trying to remember exactly what we were doing with our Jannu tribe before I left. And many of you are probably still sharp enough that you remember some of the stories that we had unfolding here in the Jannu tribe on the Middle Island, including the story of little Corey, who is hopefully going to be one of our powerful future warriors. She already has been awarded the orange gem of the warriors because she has some of the strongest attack out of any of the Jannu tribe members with 5 strength. So Corey is hopefully going to be a really good warrior for us, and we're also hoping that we can possibly breed her. I think I'm pretty sure we were going to breed her with Ravanta. We had somebody picked out for her, so I'm gonna have to figure out who would be a good pairing for Corey. It looks like Ravanta is a good pairing because he does have good immunities. We would just have to make sure that we're very careful with Ravanta because Corey is a spiky body creature, and so she will hurt any of the mates that she has. But I just really love all of her abilities. Maybe we won't breed her. We'll have to see. But no matter what, she is definitely going to be one of our good warriors. And we definitely need to start having not only these beautiful, beautiful red antler deer seers that can kind of go into the tide pool and try to predict the future the way that Isla can, born from our beautiful seer line. If you guys remember several generations ago on the first island, we had this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful white fur and those beautiful red antlers, and we had the seer of the tide pool. And so Isla here is beginning to really show a lot of the traits of the seers of the tide pools, and I want to try to keep at least one of her daughters who happens to have the red antlers or red ram horns and no patterned fur in the tide pools to kind of keep an eye on them, especially if they have the cracking ability, so they can collect up any of the clams they happen to find. And there's a lot of tide pools that the Jannu tribe can actually explore and look at that we don't really have any sentries set up near. There's a tide pool right over here. There's a tide pool right over here, which is also right next to where our little deer, our Mido, our little deer explorer has finally managed to find her nest. So Mido is over here trying to bring that deer aspect of the Jannu tribe into the middle of the island. We have spent several generations playing around with the water abilities in our tribe, and I don't feel like we've made huge progress. We have managed to breed up several creatures with cracking ability and underwater breathing and fishing, but really it's kind of hard to gather up a lot of food. You have to move backward and forward across the waterways, and you have to make sure you have the ability to crack open any of the clams you find. Fighting the crabbits can actually take quite a while because they are extremely stubborn, and even when you have the ability to breathe underwater, it can take a while to chase down these big old clown koi fish and manage to get plenty of food from them. So we've had a lot of fun, and we've had a really great time, especially at the waterfall nest with all of the interesting children born here. I think Nukir was going to become Corey's mate now that I found him. They would definitely have short-sighted eye children though, so we'll have to look into that in the future. But yeah, we have been playing around with the water abilities for quite some time, and now it's time to start focusing our eyes inward towards the center of the island, and that is why we have Mido trying to find a nest and get established over in the middle of the island so we can start really utilizing the trees. I feel like we have underutilized the trees and the bushes that we could possibly find on the island as food sources, and we've been focusing so much on the fish, and that was so much fun, but I just don't know if it was the best use of our creatures and the best use of our food resources. We've been hovering at around 200 food for several generations, and it's time to really start making a bigger impact. So we have several explorers, mostly our females, many of them with the claw ability. Rivera and Miss Erie is they're starting to become quite old. Oh, they're really going to start aging up, but they are two of our foremost explorers. Rivera was named because she does have the ability to go fishing, and she and her sister have been exploring up along the riverside for quite some time. And we did have, if you recall, our two pregnant females, our sister pair, who were exploring this big grassy area after they became pregnant from a rogue. We did have our two females end up exploring quite a bit of the northern part of the island, and we couldn't really find much up here. I was pretty shocked at how empty and barren the northern part of the island is. However, this big empty barren area, if you had digging paw, is probably the source of a lot of great food, and you could have a digging paw creature move around and collect up tons of roots. So we're going to possibly work on switching slowly away from trying to utilize the water genes and more towards finding offensive and defensive genes, a lot of claw, a lot of spiky body perhaps, a lot of quick movement, maybe get those venomous fangs really strong amongst our tribe, and trying to even put in the digging claw so that we'll be able to really utilize all this open space to collect up so much food. And why would we be doing that? Because eventually, my friends, with the Jannu tribe, I do want to move on to the third and final island, a feat that we have never done with any of our other tribes because the amazing updates come and throw us off every time before we get there. And because I was gone for about a week and a half due to all of those issues I mentioned earlier, I wasn't able to get the Jannu tribe as far along as I was really hoping. So expect some double episodes and expect us to move a little bit quicker. I do want to try what is known as the Killer Island before the next update comes out in February, because that next update is going to include jungles, it's going to include some reworking of the waterway systems, and who knows what other surprises they're going to slip in there for us. So we'll want to be ready to explore all of that with the new tribe. So we're going to have the Jannus go ahead and really start beefing up on defense and start exploring the middle island, and as usual we'll have to see what kind of surprises the game throws at us. So with all of that said, don't forget we are also trying to chase down the rogue male with these two females. So these are the two females born to the rogue male that their mothers ran into earlier. If I'm lucky, let's see if Ferrari actually has her parents listed. The H male, and then he mated with Seri and Sienna, and those were the two sisters who explored the northern part of the island, desperately searching for a nest before they ended up here on the Lost Peninsula. And we've actually decided to try to just have a fun little experiment where the creatures that live here primarily only breed with the rogues that we find on the island. So we're going to send Rarari and her sister Raciana over to try to find Midnight, one of the rogues that we just bumped into right around here somewhere. He's hiding in the grasses, but he is definitely a rogue male we're quite interested in, and I want to see if we can manage to get these two females to find the rogue and just have a little genetic experiment where we continually try to keep just this population going with just the rogues that wander around, and occasionally new blood so we don't lose this entire group entirely, but just to see what we end up with after a few generations of doing that, because I think it'd be a fun and very intriguing experiment. Alright, so all of that said, let's go ahead and settle in and get ready for the day. We do have some big beautiful bluebirds flying overhead. I think they're mostly by the Lost Peninsula. Yeah, they're over to the northern part of the island. So I think that the Mother's Peninsula should be safe. The Nest Peninsula, where we have these three nests, should be safe. Let's see. Dado. Oh man, Dado is so beautiful. I love how much of a favorite she has become for so many of you guys. I feel like Dado, I want to move her up towards... I'm going to move her up over here so she can start gathering from all of these berry bushes and possibly contribute to this nest with some healthy children. So Dado has the Venomous Fangs. She's got pretty good attack. Venomous Fangs is so great on your offense too, so that she can help keep her tribe safe from all of those predators and possibly even from some pesky rogue males. So we're definitely... Oh, and I wonder how Venomous Fang works on crabbits. We need to test that. Dado, I need to have you attack crabbits. Are there any crabbits nearby? Oh, that would be so fascinating to see what her abilities do with crabbits. She does, however, have short-sighted eyes, just like Corey. So, Rovanta is looking more and more like a good choice as their mate, simply because he has normal eyesight And so any children born to them should have normal eyesight as well. So they're old enough that they can start moving to the north. So we're going to have Ravanta scooch over here. He can help out with the berry collecting. And Data will move over here and help out with the berry collecting too. And then we're going to move Dusk right over here so he can help to babysit all of the children over at the Mother's Peninsula right here. All right, and then let's pop over. I think the next really interesting thing we have to watch is right over here with Meadow, I should even say, and Neuro, and we're going to see what kind of baby these two are going to have. And we're also going to pluck that leech off of him because that looks extremely uncomfortable. All right. Oh, wow. Look how cute it is. Oh, it definitely fits. It has the red antlers. Oh, we've got spots. Racimi. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Normal eyesight, dots. She's got normal blood clotting. She's got swimming tail. All right, let's look at your stats. Oh, look at that strength. Oh, that's beautiful. Yes, we are getting some very strong females here. So that's an excellent child. I'm really, really, really excited to see that she has managed to get both the antlers and the fangs. I think that's just in this update that they have made it so you can do that. We're going to remove that parasite off of him, by the way. Oh, and it looks like we have some things moving around. All right, everybody okay? All right, I think everybody is okay. And then we're going to go ahead. She's going to guard her baby for sure. But I think I want to get her pregnant again. So we're going to scooch her over here. Go ahead and have her mate with him. And then he'll just kind of search around and make sure that everything is safe. Because they had a very excellent child. That's awesome. So this is definitely going to be another little fighter once we get her up and going. Over here, this is our pair of exploring brothers, Roduk, and then, oh, and his brother's hurt. Roku, how did you get hurt? All right, we'll go ahead and heal his brother and then gather up those berries. And Roku, I don't know what you did, buddy. I think he had a predator show up and attack him. So hopefully Roku will be okay. He doesn't have very long to live because he got attacked. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, and then we've got some fish that we can gather. All right, let's come over here. And then we can get this fish. All right, so Llama basically lives inside of the river collecting up the fish. That may be a predator, so we're going to really have, or that may be Midnight, our rogue male that we're trying to bring our females down for. So let's go ahead. Should I go ahead and get these crabbits? Maybe. We'll go ahead and grab this crabbit meal, and then we'll start marching over here. All right. And then we'll come back to this nest after these two females manage to find a mate of some kind. All right, and then I do want to start settling around that tree. So let's come over. Let's grab, let's see, Van Ku. All of the ones who have underwater breathing are now starting to get the blue gems so that I know that they're safe to send into the water. But let's see, Okima, you can't really do much, can you, my dear? And I think Okima, let's see. Yeah, I think she's contributed enough genetically. Oh, no, okay. Good, her name didn't change. I thought I accidentally changed her name. All right, Corey, you are definitely a good fighter. I really want to see what happens when Dado bites a crabbit. So I'm going to move Dado over here because she has the venomous fangs. And we're going to see if she can bite a crabbit and what happens when she does that. And Ravanta, I'll have him collect up those berries. And Lamila, who has collecting ability, strength, and speed, so she doesn't really have the ability to crack any nuts, which is a bit of a pity, but she's got a really good speed, so we're going to start scooching her up. Well, I'll move her over here so she can gather up these berries really quickly. Simi, if you guys recall, happens to be short-sighted, so she is actually dedicated to just gathering up berries from right here and occasionally finding some fish if she's ever lucky enough. All right, and then we do have my good fisher, Kukima, here, and he has been trying to chase down, oh, that koi fish. Oh no, Kukima, I'm so sorry. Oh, I've done a horrible thing. I forgot just because he has fishing tail, he doesn't have underwater breathing. Oh, he's gonna be hurt. I'm so sorry, you guys. Oh, I'm just getting back into the flow of everything. My apologies. Oh, Kukima, I'm sorry. He's going to be chasing down those koi fish. And then over here, we have had Mamila trying to chase down those fish for ages. But again, it's proving to be so true that it's more worth it right now, with at least the layout we have, to focus on settling around the trees first. And I think the fish should be looked at as extras from now on. At least with the way everything is currently set up. I feel like I had a lot of fun making a bunch of Water Tribe members, but they didn't really help out that much in the end. And if I do have a water tribe, I mostly want to focus on their underwater breathing and the ability to do the cracking skill so that they can go around and collect up clams instead of just have to sit there and stare at a clam and keep their eye on it while we wait for another member to come by. So let's see. Yep, there's another clam. But again, Vandanku, he can scooch around and he can find clams, but he can't collect them. And I feel like clams are a much more practical thing to find than focusing on trying to find fish, because fish are a lot more difficult to chase down. All right, and we'll try swimming over here and just lighting up some of the area. Oh, and there's a bunny. Why on earth? And then, oh no, can I not attack the bunny? I should be able to attack this bunny. All right, come here, Bun Bun. All right. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. And then meanwhile, Isila has her child. So should I move Isiana over? And Dusk is becoming a little bit older. So we probably want to breed Dusk. But they're breeding all short-sighted children. So I'm not sure if I want to breed them anymore. And Isiana, what can you do, my dear? She can actually do cracking and she can do collecting. But again, it's kind of odd because I don't have the ability to have my swimmers. Oh no, I shouldn't have scooched her that far away. Sorry, little one, I wasn't thinking clearly. And again, I apologize. I am very sick with a cold, but I really miss Niche. So if I'm kind of jumping all over the place, that's why. There we go. So, yeah, I think right now, and then Isla, I think it would be good. Isla makes such a good mother. And Mother's Roost is so important, but I can't think of any males I would really want to mate with her. So I may start moving her up towards... Yeah, I may start moving her up towards this area and the tree too. So let's start lighting the tree area up. I don't have cracking ability over here with Masiri, but I can at least start exploring it. There we go. Because we're long overdue for doing some proper exploring on this side of the island. And Sikora also is short-sighted, but at the very least she can contribute to exploring along the riverside, so it's easier for our fishers to jump all over the place and be able to chase down the fish that they're hunting. I have an unprotected little baby. That is not a smart move on my part, so let me go ahead and move Daddy up here. There we go. Vandanku is going to keep an eye on little Nukir. And I think I can actually send little Nukir right over here. And he and his dad can kind of keep an eye on that crab right there. That little crabbit. Alright, so what do we have over here? More protecting of the babies. Then we have little Cory. She's got really good strength. I wonder what it would be like if she and Dado took out these crabbits. I wonder if I just need to have super strong creatures roam the beaches and knock down the crabbits as quickly as they can. Alright, and my sisters have scooched over. We're going to be looking for a midnight. Alright, so let's go ahead and make the next move. Everybody's still doing okay? Oh, there's a bunny! There's a bunny! Can I get it? Oh, yes. Alright, so we've got a bunny to get a little bit of food from there. And then we do have... Oh, it looks like one of the koi fish passed away. And we've got some fish that we can fish up over here. And then llama, if you get out of the water, it looks like you can get that bunny while it's getting a drink. Darn. We'll have to chase it down in just a second. All right, hang on. All right, sorry about that, guys. Let's see. And we'll have Simi focus on gathering up those berries. Let's get you out of there, buddy. I'm so sorry, Kukima. Oh, I should have gotten you out of there so much earlier than that. Oh no, and we lost one of our elder females. Oh, the cycle of life can be a tough thing sometimes. All right, I'm going to scooch Anna over here and have her explore over here. And Masiri, I'm going to have her do full exploring, knock down stuff from the tree, and do full exploring around the tree so that we can make sure to get that going for everybody else. And I'm pretty sure... Oh, that's a bunny. I was hoping it was going to be Midnight because we need to find where Midnight ran off to. And there's a ton of bunnies down here. Oh my gosh. There's plenty of bunnies. We need to find where the bunny burrow is over here so that they can harvest all those bunnies for food. And then I'm going to continue to move Isla this way. Oh, there's a dead crabbit. All right, we'll just gather that up for food too. Dusk is about to pass away, but Dado is going to inherit. Oh my gosh, look, Dado is just surrounded. Dado, I love it. All right, Dado, you know the drill. You have to start fighting these Krabbits so that you can get used to fighting. You and Corey, you're gonna tag team these Krabbits, and you're gonna get used to fighting this way. All right, so Dado needs a partner in order to attack the Krabbits, it seems, because they're too smart for us. They're keeping their dukes up. They're gonna make sure to fight her. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Krabbits. All right, let's see. I'm gonna have little Lamila come over and gather up those berries. And Dusk, he's very old, so I think I'll go ahead and just leave him right there. And Rovanta, who also he's got not really any attack. He doesn't have the ability to gather up any nuts, unfortunately, but he has a lot of movement. So Rovanta, I'll also move really quickly up over here, and he can maybe take over one of his uncle's places, trying to explore the tip of the little island over there. All right, so let's see. And then Rokunu. Oh, Rokunu actually has cracking ability. As we're learning, it's very nice if you can have cracking ability and also be able to explore the water. And then we've got, come on, bunny. All right, got a little bit of ocean bunny there. It amazes me how many of them actually end up swimming. And then we'll continue to explore around here. And I do need to try to work on getting my orcas back. That is something I definitely wanted to manage for the Jannu tribe, is getting a proper orca line where we had the panda pattern going. So now that I think about that, we'll have to see if we can make sure to mutate the panda pattern. We haven't mutated it yet, and bring it into the family too. All right, let's see. Any fish or anything we need to collect over here? Not really. All right, double checking. Let's scooch little Isana over here. She should be old enough to take care of herself soon. And Okima is about to pass away as well. So Okima, do you want to do a moment of exploring before you get too old to do any more exploring? All right, so she's at peace in the ocean. Okima is a really beautiful water creature, so it makes sense that she would want to spend some of her final moments kind of exploring the ocean and the water. And this is really sweet, seeing little Dusk watch over little Isana. I think Isana, whoops, sorry about that. I think Isana is actually one of his children too. Yeah, she is. So Isana, Dusk, which one of your children? I feel like Dado really kind of has inherited Dusk's, our beautiful rogue Dusk, who showed up on pretty much the final days we were on the first island. I feel like Dado really inherited a lot of Dusk's personality, so I'm very excited to see what Dado will end up doing after she finishes duking it out with the Krabbits. All right, and let's scooch over to this side of the island. We have so many creatures. We'll do a quick little batch of exploring. Yes, very important. We finally found another berry bush. We'll collect up the berries and continue to explore. We don't have any nest on the east side of the island other than the waterfall nest, which is more to the south, so we don't really have a lot of incentive to send any but the creatures we don't plan on breeding over here so far. Now again, in the next update that we will have for niche, they're supposed to be adding in, oh, there's Midnight. They are supposed to be adding in the ability to actually go ahead and make your own nest, which would be very exciting. All right, so we're trying to move our two rogue-born children, or rogue-born ladies, over to the brand new rogue, Midnight, who is somewhere in this area. So that should be pretty exciting. I'm very glad now, with Midnight popping up right below our feet, that Mito was already expecting. I knew there was a good reason to make sure that she was ready for a next baby. All right, and there is a lot of rustling going on, so I think Neuro... All right, mostly it seems to be bunnies, though. But I think Neuro would definitely be sure to like search the area and make sure it's safe. This part of the family is really going to focus more on trying to become ready to explore the land and really ready to defend themselves, carrying on the seer line a little bit with being able to look over the tide pools, but for the most part, they're starting a new, almost semi-warrior-esque, more defensive deer line, which I really like. All right, and Mito, we're gonna go ahead and have her collect up some of those berries, pop into her nest, and explore a spot next to her so that she knows that her little child will be safe. All right, is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Wonderful. All right. Oh, nope. We still have one more, and we can move Rana around, and she can do fishing, but I haven't really found any fish in the ocean. That's something else I've been noticing. I'm gonna try sending her into the deep ocean, I think, and we're gonna do a little exploring over here, because so far I'm not really finding fishing to be a great use of our time. And if you guys have tips on how to make really efficient fishers, I'd love to hear them, though bear in mind we are about to have another huge update drop too, so maybe I'm more of a jungle explorer than a mermaid and an orca guider. Alright, let's see what baby's gonna be born. Oh, hello there, little one. So this is Messy, and she has underwater breathing from underwater, from the water body. That's unexpected. She also has cracking. That's actually what we want. Messy, guess what? I'm going to send you over to join the orca tribe. That's fantastic. Because that cracking ability, and maybe even that ability to use her venomous fangs on the crabbits, is definitely going to help us out when she's looking for clams. So wonderful. Welcome to the world, little Messy. I think I need to rename you. We're going to rename her Miri, with 2 eyes. I probably have had lots of Miri, so let's go with Mira Me. There we go. Kind of like mermaid that way. But she's going to be in charge of searching out a lot of the clams then, because she'll be able to go deep underwater and find the clams, which is something, ironically, we can't really do with this group too much. We have a few of them that can do that. Rokunu can do that. And we might send him over here so that he can grab this clam in just a little bit. And then, speaking of the underwater, let's send Rana over here so that she can search. Oh, is this where... What? I just haven't been going deep enough into the water? Is that my problem all along? I've just been playing on the shore too much? Okay, we're gonna experiment with Rana and see how well we can fish this deep into the water, but that's 3 things of fish. That's more fish than I've seen anywhere else. Maybe that was my problem. I just wasn't going into the deep ocean. We might start doing that for sure. Oh, and we lost one of our elder females. That's too bad. Alright, Nukuvan is here, and he can actually collect up some of the clams that we find. And we've got some crabbits putting up their dukes and wanting to fight us over here. So let's send little Nukir. Oh, I can't send him around there because, oh darn. I was hoping I would be able to send him around the cactus, but he has short-sighted eyes? No, he just wasn't able to wiggle around as quickly as I was hoping. Alright, so he'll hang out with who I believe is his father, Van Vanku, and he will help to attack that crabbit. And then short-sighted Simi, she's mostly going to be spending most of her life picking those berries off that berry bush, but now that I think about it, it might be really useful to have her do a little exploring too. And we'll gather up these berries and continue to clear away the grasses around the riverway, so that we'll be able to explore them very quickly. Alright, more exploring. I'm so sorry, Kukima. He had so much damage. Ah, and those fish! They just move so quickly. It's like if you aren't ready right there to grab the fish, then you just never really get a hold of them. Alright, and Anna actually has the cracking ability. So you know what? We are still wasting time not gathering up all of those nuts. So Anna's going to scooch over and start helping out with the nuts. She also is pretty beautiful. I really like her look because the deer look that she has with the antlers. And if we can get some normal eyes in, she might make some healthy children. So we'll definitely look into that in a little bit too. And then Masiri is a bit more of an explorer, so let's go ahead and I want to make sure that we have all of the area around. Look at that. Those beautiful nuts are just waiting for us to harvest. Alright, so that's taken care of. And then we should be running into Midnight the male. Ooh, look at all this food. I don't know if the ladies could pass up all the food that they're finding right over here though. We'll go ahead and have them do a little bit of exploring. So much food, so many clams. Nice. And then there's also more, there's a lot of rocks. I wonder if all these rocks kind of represent a reef that you could expect to run into for fish. And we need to find Midnight. So these two are looking for Midnight the male. And that also reminds me, I probably need to get Mito. Oops, Mito, let's get you expecting. There we go. And now Mito is safe from Midnight. I don't want to attack Midnight just yet because I do want my rogue females to breed with him. But he definitely needs to get out of here. And then Racimi can come over here. Oh wait, she's very little. She's very little. I need someone to protect the baby. Alright, let's see if we can get an... Oh my gosh, no. I was gonna have her uncle like defend her, but there's actually a lot of rocks in the way. Alright, so Racimi, just don't look delectable to a bird for a little bit, please. So hopefully that'll clear up. Oh my gosh, there's so much food over here. Who has cracking ability? Someone with cracking ability. Isla. Isla needs to get over here and take care of all this. And then Ravanta. Let's see if we can get these two to work on this crabbit. The crabbit doesn't know which side to look at. So there we go. Collect that up. And then let's move him over here. Roduk. Where are all these bunnies coming from? These tide pool bunnies. This is a really healthy tide pool for clams. All right. But we don't really need to worry too much. Oh, yes. All right. There was one koi fish. There's another koi fish, but I don't think we can get it. Darn. Yeah, we don't really need to worry too much about food, so I should probably just be focusing on who to breed. So we'll get to that point soon. All right. Izana is taking care of this bush. And then can she attack things? Yeah, she can. I was going to have her... Aha. Yeah, they'll work on that crabbit together. And then I want to do this experiment so we can see if I attack the crabbit with venomous fangs. Okay, well, I didn't get a chance to see if it was venomous fangs or not because that was just too tempting to just straight up attack the crabbit. That's interesting. I wonder if you're at different levels of height, if the crabbit will only face one direction. Like you can distract it and somebody else can attack it completely. That's a good thought. All right, let's see. Let's try that out. All right. Maybe it's the last creature moved that the crabbit focuses on. But either way, I'm going to get Jannu because he is also really good at fishing and deep water into the ocean too. Alright, so we may have to do some serious exploring into the deep ocean when it comes to actually finding a whole bunch of fish that we can snag. And other than that, we are going to start swimming bunnies, that's so hilarious. We are going to start specializing a few of our breeding abilities, and we'll start watching as the story teases itself out from where the tribes are really going. We're really starting to fracture into different groups. I think we're going to start seeing a lot of the tribes a lot of the tribe members not really interact with each other very much, and we'll start working on independent projects and just trying to produce the strongest, healthiest, fastest, and the best creatures from each area so that we can prepare and get ready to go on to the Killer Island. So, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!